they've got a former Hoosier in their starting five, as senior Jeremy Hollowell will be their leading scorer tonight. You'd figure Hollowell averaging 21.5 per game so far. Justin Seymour's coming off a 20-point game. And for the Boilers, their familiar five, led in part by Vincent Edwards, who has been terrific so far.
Especially sharing the basketball, setting the tone for Purdue in the early going in that category.
So Caleb Swanigan needed a little attention before getting on the floor. He's ready now, and so are we. Crowd at Mackey Arena picking up where they left off on Monday night in that great game against Villanova. Isaac Haas unable to win the tip. It goes to Georgia State. A veteran group. They can score. They're pretty small, though. We'll see how that plays out against a much bigger Purdue lineup. That's Hollowell. Unable to get Georgia State on the board, but the Panthers will have another chance. That ball out of bounds off Purdue.
Hollowell coming off a 20-point performance in a losing effort at Auburn. However, struggled shooting the basketball, especially from behind the arc. 0 of 6 in that category last time out.
Georgia State's offense will try to draw the big men out. Didn't work that time, though, as Willie Clayton tried to go around Isaac Haas and lost control. It will be Purdue ball for the first time. Willie
Clayton, one of many transfers for Georgia State, had 17 double-doubles during his career at Charlotte before transferring to Georgia State.
Georgia State has an aggressive defense. They get a lot of steals. See if Purdue can break some of that press. Vincent Edwards on the board for the Boilers.
Nice job also by Vincent Edwards of waiting for Haas to set up shop. He set a screen, and the Georgia State player completely lost sight, as well as sunlight.
Hollowell with Swanigan on him. And a whistle away from the ball. It's going to be against Georgia State.
In transition, nice job of getting the ball in the middle of the floor against that press. And then watch the seal off by Haas. No chance for Clayton to get around it.
Ron Hunter has seen his team turn the ball over a couple of times in the first minute. And Swanigan took an extra step. Pretty clear to see that as he got loose in open space there and tried to take off with the ball. First turnover for Matt Painter's Boilermakers, a team that's turned the ball over a little bit. You know, you mentioned you want to see them kind of tighten things up tonight.
Especially the unforced variety like that. You know, Swanigan knew he had an opportunity to get to the rim. Just his body got a little bit ahead of his mind right there.
Jeremy Hollowell touched the ball a lot for this Georgia State team. And Hollowell over Swanigan, able to get on the board. All Sun Belt preseason second team. Hollowell is on for Georgia State.
Georgia State trying to take advantage of the ball handling of Purdue, extending the defense a little bit, burning some clock now.
Isaac Haas strong to the basket around Willie Clayton, and Haas is going to be tough to stop tonight.
If Willie Clayton gets caught on the high or low side, he's going to need a Sherpa and 3 days of supplies to get around Haas.
Clayton is giving 6 inches to Isaac Haas. He's really their biggest player. Chris Clerkley, 6'9", doesn't play a lot. So Clayton's going to have to draw the big man tonight. That's Jeff Thomas making his first start of the year as Clayton ended up with the ball under the basket, trying to save it for Georgia State. And he did off of that 7'2" Redwood called Isaac Haas.
And right on cue, he takes Clayton right up the lane. No chance.
Georgia State inbounds, and with a three-point shot, Justin Seymour. Out of Utah and Murray State. He's on his third school, and he's got 3 points.
He's got the hat trick, and well-traveled, as you mentioned, coming off a nice performance in his own right. 20 points versus Auburn, 3 of 7 from deep.
This undersized Georgia State team will have a hard time stopping Swanigan and Haas, but they did that time.
Really nice high-low action between Swanigan and Haas.
Thomas from the baseline, too strong. Dakota Mathias with the rebound for Purdue. Weathers quick in transition. P.J. Thompson can't get it. Swanigan an offensive rebound. Look for him all night on the offensive glass. The putback rolls through for Biggie, Caleb Swanigan.
Swanigan led the conference in rebounding a year ago as a true freshman. And how about his performance in the season opener versus McNeese State? 23 points, 20 rebounds.
And a travel against Georgia State. That was Justin Seymour.
Swanigan able to take the defender Clayton underneath the rim. That's one thing that you struggle with in a zone defense, Wayne. You don't have individual blockout responsibilities, and it's going to take more than one Georgia State Panther to limit the path to the rim of Caleb Swanigan.
Swanigan's rebounding numbers already beginning to take notice this season. He had 20 in the first game. This ball out of bounds off of Georgia State as Swanigan became the first Boilermaker to have a 20 rebound game since 1972.
Getting that zone defense being employed right now by Georgia State, trying to pack it in and force Purdue to shoot over the top.
Matthias for three. Isaac Haas trying to strong arm for the rebound. He had Panthers all over his back. Didn't seem to notice, but a foul was called anyway. Malik Benlevy with the foul. That's his first. Savannah native. Matt Painter mentioned that despite that zone, they might post up more than most teams do against the zone. There's Swanigan off the entry pass as he missed too strong off the glass. Now Hollowell's on the run around Swanigan with some extra leg lift there. Jeremy Hollowell able to get that one to fall through.
And a nice job of sliding off to his right to avoid the direct contact with Swanigan.
Matthias from the corner. Again, too strong. There's Hollowell, the former Hoosier, gets a rebound.
And a good job by Clayton of getting a body on Haas.
Well, Georgia State is a veteran group. They know how to play. They were in the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. Isaiah Dennis missing there. Nice putback, but a miss from Clayton. And it will be Purdue ball after a foul. So Georgia State's come out of the gate with a good start. They're up 7-6 in West Lafayette.
You'll have to settle for me, though, Wayne. They have to forget Villanova. That was such a highly touted game. They have to put that in the rearview mirror and fundamental focus, especially in terms of taking care of the basketball. And when they go to the foul line, converting, that was another area of concern. There were only 12 of 20 or 12 of 19 from the foul line.
For Purdue, it's Carson Edwards, the freshman, in there for the first time. It's the only change for the Boilermakers from their starting five. Edwards to the baseline with the jumper. He was hit from behind there, it looked like. A foul will be called against Georgia State as Vincent Edwards will go to the free throw line. It's Benlevy who was called for his second foul. So 2 free throws coming up for Vincent Edwards. The first chance for Purdue to shore things up at the free throw line tonight as Edwards makes the first. Vince Edwards has had 10 straight games with at least 10 points. We see veteran Spike Albrecht check into the game for the first time. P.J. Thompson has a break.
You have the two extremes in the backcourt right now for Purdue. The grad transfer Spike Albrecht and the true freshman Carson Edwards. And keep an eye on him. The future is very, very bright for that young man.
They love Carson Edwards and what he brings to this Purdue offense. 3-point try for Hollowell. With a hand in his face, Edwards was right there, but Hollowell had enough space to go deep. He has 7 points. Purdue able to break that press pretty easily. Now Swanigan trying to post up, sends it out. Boilers with the ball movement. Swanigan doubled up inside, still tried to put it up. And a rebound for Isaiah Dennis. Here come the Panthers. Hollowell's had the hot hand early.
Nice job by Matthias there.
Around Matthias, there's some contact. And a foul will be called here against Dakota Matthias. First foul against Matthias, first foul of the Boilermakers. Georgia State makes a change. Jeff Thomas will check in. Benlevy has a seat. And here comes Isaac Haas to give Swanigan a rest. Hollowell, doesn't matter who's around right now. Jeremy Hollowell's feeling it.
He really is. And so if you are Purdue, you have to be there on the catch and make him beat you off the dribble.
Hollowell's had at least 20 points in each of his first 2 games. There's Isaac Haas down low all night. They will try to have a steady stream into Haas and Swanigan as Haas was fouled.
Good recognition by Purdue on the offensive end, but the previous possession for Georgia State, Hollowell, as you mentioned, showing a versatile offensive game, able to knock it down from 3, and a good recognition by Dakota Mathias on the ball reversal, understanding even against that zone with Willie Clayton, the largest player for Georgia State, out of the lineup, they have to go inside to Haas.
Haas now 10 for 16 at the free throw line this year as Basil Smotherman comes in. Edwards to the bench. And Isaac Haas makes 1 of 2.
And Smotherman, a big lift off the bench for Purdue last time out versus Villanova. 6 rebounds, 5 points, 3 assists in 21 minutes.
Impressive start for Jeremy Hollowell. Had that one rim out though as Mathias gets the rebound, threw it into traffic. It was nearly taken away. Isaiah Dennis handled the ball, but then stepped out of bounds.
And boy, did Smotherman dodge one on this end of the floor because he was late getting out on the closeout on Hollowell, and that almost found the bottom of the well again for Georgia State.
I think Isaiah Dennis almost found Ron Hunter. He had to tell everybody he was okay. Here's Haas over 2 men, missing a short opportunity there as the rebound goes out of bounds off of Purdue. Perhaps a foul was called there.
And that's when they get the ball to Haas inside like that, Wayne. You don't need to shoot that turnaround jump shot. Put your shoulder to the rim and make Georgia State go through there. And that was exactly what Coach Matt Painter was emphasizing, maybe not as kindly to Isaac Haas as he jogged down the floor.
Foul was on Smotherman, his first, team's second. Jeff Thomas is a shooter for Georgia State, but he turns it over there and then able to track it down for a moment. Thomas with some pushing on the other end goes down, and it looks like it will be a foul on Thomas. Rob Riley running the sidelines along with Jeff Thomas called that foul.
Well, right here, it's compounded because both players, Smotherman in particular, for Purdue, Wayne, tried to dribble a loose ball rather than corral it. And as a result, it flies free. And I think Purdue's very fortunate to get possession of this basketball.
So Dakota Mathias will inbound. Purdue hasn't scored in the last 3.5 minutes. And now a whistle away from the ball. This will be a violation, 3-second violation against Purdue. Second turnover for the Boilermakers, and another one of those unforced errors you mentioned earlier. Purdue with 29 turnovers in the first 2 games. They spread them out. They turned the ball over in game 1 as well when they beat up on McNeese State. Seymour around a screen. Way off as Spike Albrecht has the rebound, fall in his lap. Mathias with the pass, gets it right back. Carson Edwards had the 3 rim out. And a foul on the floor.
And I'm glad they called that foul because Isaac Haas in that particular situation, I think because he's so large, Wayne, a lot of contact usually gets called because he's so big. He doesn't demonstrate when he gets held, and he was just being held not by 1 but 2 players from Georgia State, and the officials caught it.
It was Session who was whistled for the foul. Already a handful of those against Georgia State early as Isaac Haas will come on out. Edwards thought about the turnaround, forced it down low. Swanigan almost lost it. Oilers able to keep it alive. Spike Albrecht. 3 rims out. Edwards the rebound. Putback doesn't go. And Willie Clayton secures the ball for Georgia State.
That's a play Edwards usually makes. He'd have been better served, Wayne, to use the window on that.
Purdue has had an incredible edge in second chance points so far. They have not made anything from 3-point range so far tonight.
Even though they came away empty on that last possession, really good execution, reversing the ball from side to side and forcing the zone to defend all of their defensive real estate.
Last foul on Spike Albrecht, so Georgia State gets to inbound and throw it into the backcourt as Smotherman tried to chase down Hollowell. Purdue hasn't shot very well early on. 0 for 5 from three-point range. 3 for 13 overall.
Good job defensively by Swanigan.
Clayton trying to back down Swanigan, who gets the rebound.
He pushed Clayton away from the rim. That's exactly what he needs to do.
Nice pass. Albrecht underneath, and Edwards couldn't finish the dunk. There's a lid on it for Purdue right now. Albrecht almost got in front of that pass to DeMarcus Simons. The talented true freshman for Georgia State tripped up. And we will take the timeout. Another foul against Mike Albrecht. Purdue trying to find some buckets early, but still awfully close against overall. They have not made a three yet. The zone defense working for Georgia State.
They've kind of goaded Purdue into shooting over the top. A couple of those threes you can't argue with. They came off ball reversal, but I think the threes are going to come far easier, Wayne, if they probe inside, force the double team, and then kick it out either from the low or the high post.
Georgia State's had a good start, especially Jeremy Hollowell, the transfer from Indiana. Although this time it's the freshman DeMarcus Simons.
Pretty good job by P.J. Thompson and moving his feet. That was a really good individual offensive play by Simons.
Simons is probably one of the best recruits they've ever gotten at Georgia State. Speaking of good recruits, there was Carson Edwards sending one to the other side. Edwards attacks the basket, goes underneath, and scores.
And a really good job. Again, they got the zone defense, Wayne, to move from side to side. The skip pass, and they got the reversal. Good recognition by Edwards to attack off the bounce, hit that seam.
Roughly 5.5 minutes since the last Purdue score. Carson Edwards, the freshman, gets them back on the board. A turnover as Mitchell kicked it out of bounds.
Good ball movement. Leads to the breakdown defensively. Skip pass. Watch the blue jerseys moving. They're in a scramble mode. Good shot fake. You don't close out under control, and Carson Edwards makes you pay. The future, again, extremely bright for the freshman from Texas.
Looked pretty poised there for a 6-foot freshman going inside.
I saw them practice before they went to Spain, and he tried to dunk on Isaac Costa. I don't know if that is great fearlessness or foolishness, but I saw it happen.
Another 3-second violation. That's 2 against Isaac Costa.
And Haas has to understand this, Wayne, that you don't have to have your whole body in there. If even part of your foot is in that lane, especially when you have size 23 feet, it's going to draw the attention of the official. That goes as a turnover, another of the unforced variety.
You might have to stand near center court. Hollowell trying to get into double digits. Wild on that shot attempt. Caleb Swanigan, another rebound.
And Hollowell's down. They have numbers. They can take advantage.
Swanigan up top. There was Carson Edwards, unable to finish. We've seen Purdue do that a couple of times already tonight.
And a really nice pass by Swanigan. Goes for naught.
Missed 3 by Devin Mitchell. Here come the Boilers again. Carson Edwards wanted it. And Carson Edwards misses. Rebound for Willie Clayton. Foul. Looks like Haas and Clayton were tied up underneath, and Haas will get called for that foul. 15 foul against Purdue, the first against Isaac Haas. We saw Haas get into some foul trouble the other night against Villanova. I know that handcuffs Purdue a little bit, because not only was Haas in foul trouble, so was Swanigan.
And a little reversal. I thought Haas was going to the bench, as did you, but rather it's the freshman Carson Edwards. Haas stays out there.
Now the big lineup back on the floor for Purdue. Swanigan, Haas, Edwards. All 5 starters in there for the Boilers.
And this may be a chance for them to go high-low against that zone defense next time down.
There's DeMarcus Simons, a freshman, scoops it up.
And a good seal right there by Clayton. Took away the opportunity for Haas to come over and contest that shot.
Simons was originally supposed to go to Mississippi State, changed his mind and stayed home in the Atlanta area. Now a foul underneath the basket with Clayton tangling up with Haas again.
Last time down offensively, little dribble weave action. Simons able to turn the corner, and a good seal there by number 21, Clayton, on the much larger Isaac Haas.
First foul on Willie Clayton.
Oh, they missed him. Oh, that's another one. When they look at the tape, they are going to really shake their heads because they had exactly what they wanted. The skip pass, Haas took the defender all the way underneath the rim. All they had to do was catch it cleanly and go inside, and he had a dunk. They step on the sideline.
Another unforced turnover from Purdue. They've had 4 turnovers. Really all of them of the same type of variety, unforced. Simons had it get knocked away as he went up with it. Now Edwards on the run. And he had on the weak side, P.J. Thompson just flipped it over his head out of bounds. Sloppiness from Purdue.
And it was a poor pass by Vincent Edwards. There's no question about that, but it was compounded by the fact, Wayne, as P.J. Thompson was running the right wing, he didn't fan out. He ran in a straight line, and that made it a very difficult pass. The onus is still on Edwards, but it could have been, it was compounded by the fact that P.J. Thompson didn't run and didn't appreciate angles.
Purdue's averaged 92 points in their first 2 games, so interesting to see them struggling to score in the first 11 minutes and change here today. Jump shot on the way and missed by Justin Seymour. Now neither team making baskets.
There you go. Nice job. Good seal.
Haas all knotted up, about 3 blue jerseys. Not in the neighborhood. What do you want to see Haas do when he gets locked up like that?
Just continue to keep the ball high and not bring it down. But how about the pass by Swanigan? You know, Swanigan led the conference in rebounding a year ago, but he's an outstanding passer as well. He showed that last year, and he has continued to improve that part of his game, had his head up and able to find his fellow big man Haas, who took essentially the whole team from Georgia State underneath the rim.
Haas makes the first, he'll get another. Georgia State, they swarm quickly. Haas misses the back end. The 1-and-1, a rebound for Justin Seymour. Haas 2 for 4 at the free throw line so far tonight.
And that's a situation when you're that big as Isaac Haas is, I think it can be a disadvantage shooting free throws. His hand is so big, it would be like you and I trying to shoot a tennis ball. That's far more difficult than the average player.
Seymour lost it. Caleb Swanigan flies in. Trying to go down low to Haas. That ball was tipped away as Justin Seymour knocked it out. So a timeout on the floor as Purdue has struggled to score so far. 4 for 17 from the field, and it's Georgia State with the lead.
I mean, they've played 2 outstanding teams. Their front line is really beaten up right now, but you know come January and February, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Got to hit the panic button.
Of course.
Need the hot takes. Don't ruin that. Isaac Haas sends it out.
Oh, boy, they missed Swanigan.
They found him this time. There's the defense from Georgia State. Quickly converging on both Haas and Swanigan, and they get a steal. Hollowell straight to the hoop. Fell back in his lap, but it's out of bounds off of Georgia State. Hollowell was out of bounds when he caught that ball.
And Isaac Haas fell hard. And Purdue is very fortunate that Hollowell wasn't able to score because he sensed the recognition. Good job by Hollowell, the transfer from Indiana. He knew he had the far smaller player, P.J. Thompson, on him, took him right to the rim, just wasn't able to convert.
It makes a thud when Isaac Haas hits the deck. Georgia State started 5 for 10. They are now 2 for their last 10. So even though Purdue's had issues, Georgia State hasn't taken advantage. Another miss. Swanigan off the back iron. Back to him and a foul call.
And a good job by Swanigan of not giving up on the play and making himself available. On the back tap, he found that gap in the zone, attacked the high post, saw no one was on him, and immediately made an aggressive move.
Foul on Justin Seymour. One in the bonus coming up for Swanigan. It seemed like a size mismatch early on. We haven't really seen that. But at least seeing Purdue take advantage of it, especially on the rebounds. They're about even so far.
And they've had some opportunities. They have just missed some point-blank shots that they usually knock down.
Swanigan averaging 21 and 14 in the first 2 games. Of course, had that ridiculous 23-point, 20 rebounds, 6 assist opener against McNeese State. Work it inside, and Willie Clayton gets around the 7'2" Isaac Haas.
Really good job by the transfer from Charlotte of sitting down in the post, keeping his elbows bent, and getting position on the far larger Haas.
Long 3, P.J. Thompson misses. Clayton, for whatever reason, tried to grab that ball. Was going to go out of bounds anyway off Purdue. But Clayton gets a rebound. Now Purdue 0 for 7 from downtown.
Might be a contract here. Need to get that step.
Nice move by Hollowell. Then ran into Isaac Haas. Still goes up with it. Clayton, the putback, doesn't go. Thompson had the rebound for a moment, nearly lost it.
Right now, Georgia State is attacking the ball, and Purdue is reaching for it.
And there's Swanigan. Left alone underneath. 6 points for Caleb Swanigan. And for the Boilers, just a sigh of relief to knock one through. There's a lot of energy in this place on Monday night when Villanova was here. The defending national champs. It was a great game. Energy in this place tonight, a little bit nervous. Here's Clayton. It's out of bounds off of somebody who will stay with Georgia State. Just 2 on the shot clock.
That's right, and they're very fortunate to retain possession because there was no way he was going to be able to turn the corner. I was very surprised he was able to stay in bounds, but able to snake in, and it goes off Matthias right there.
See what Georgia State has in mind. Just 2 seconds on the shot clock. Have to put it up fast.
He walked.
Seymour took a little trip around the corner there. 7th turnover against Georgia State.
Well, I guess a guy that's been at 3 schools during his college career could be called well-traveled, and it was on display there.
In the game for Georgia State, Austin Donaldson, a sophomore.
I want to continue to play through Swanigan. He's really been productive the last 3 or 4 times down the floor.
And a turnover again. Hollowell with a steal. Going deep to Simons. And Simons ran into Swanigan and traveled. Actually, it was Smotherman on the other end.
Smotherman had to make up because that was just a poor pass the last time down the floor, but he sprinted back and was able to get position, and the freshman turns it over.
Spike Albrecht leading the offense right now for Purdue. Matthias sends it out. Carson Edwards travels it inside, and Edwards with another scoop and score.
And again, the shot fake, the defender from Georgia State doesn't close out under control, and the freshman, cognizant of that fact, able to turn the corner and complete, this time with the right hand.
Carson Edwards loves to score, according to his head coach. He has 4 points tonight. Out of bounds, and a push they'll call there on Smotherman.
Good ball reversal, attacking the seam by Matthias. Didn't even really take much of a ball fake. Georgia State doesn't close out under control. Watch right here. Doesn't close out under control, turning the corner, able to fight through a little contact, and nice delivery by the freshman.
We haven't even seen Edwards do what he likes to do best, and that's shoot the ball. All of his points so far have come inside. They love his quick release, though, from the field.
And he can make plays for others. We've seen him make plays for himself. He can also get off the dribble and make plays for teammates.
Hollowell's drawn Albrecht. Size mismatch there, but Hollowell can't take advantage. And Albrecht fights for the rebound.
Smart play. Smart play.
Edwards to the corner. There's Carson Edwards. Up inside again. He's fouled. It'll be an offensive foul. Carson Edwards strong to the hole once more, and this time charged.
He'd have been better off taking that jump shot. Rotation. Weak side defender is there. The only question would have been, was he outside the restricted area? That was the case. Will come the other way.
Seems like he's not really going after that jump shot. It's been there for him a couple of times. He's been comfortable going inside. Marcus Simons, freshman on freshman there. It's Hollowell for 3. Left it short. Jeff Thomas thought he had the rebound, and he got clipped from behind. Looks like that foul will be on Caleb Swanigan. So a first half where the scoring hasn't been very much on either side.
can tell that a couple of those were 3-second calls, but as you look at the stat sheet, Wayne, 8 turnovers for Purdue, only 2 points off those turnovers for Georgia State, which leads you to the conclusion that a lot of those have been dead ball turnovers, either via a violation or just throwing the ball out of bounds.
Purdue has been outscored this year on points off turnovers entering tonight's play, 37-18, so it's been kind of a constant so far. But they have not taken advantage of the other team's mistakes. Neither has Georgia State really so far today either. Free throws go down for Jeff Thomas. As we remind you, coming up, State Farm halftime report. Rick Pizzo and John Crispin have all the details from this first half. Dakota Mathias, a big three for Purdue.
It's a small thing, but that was a beautiful delivery from Spike Albrecht. That bounce pass led Mathias right into the shooting pocket. He didn't have to reload. It's a small thing, but an important thing, executed extremely well by Albrecht.
First triple of the night for the Boilermakers. They love the way Albrecht runs the floor, a veteran coming from Michigan, as Hollowell goes right back down low to put the Panthers back on top. 11 points for Jeremy Hollowell. Made 15 starts a couple of years ago for Indiana. He was recruited by Matt Painter to come here. Bias after that big three sends it down low to
Because Mathias knocked down that three, you saw Georgia State in that last line of defense really had to come out under control, and a good recognition by Mathias and an even better job by Swanigan with the duck in and pin.
Swanigan has 8 points so far. Simons attacks the basket and gives Georgia State the advantage again.
See if they go back to that two-man game again on this side with Mathias and Swanigan.
Long three, Carson Edwards, too strong. Hollowell almost lost his dribble. Marcus Simons wanted the ball, and why not? Instead, they go down low. Clayton around Swanigan.
That was a big-time move, Wayne. He turns, faces up, the quick rip-through, able to get his hip beyond the defender, and a nice completion by the transfer from Charlotte.
So the offense is picking up now on both sides. Albrecht to Swanigan, and they'll wave that one off as Willie Clayton took a dive for Swanigan's feet. That foul will put Caleb Swanigan on the free throw line. 9th team foul against Georgia State, so the next one will be an automatic 2 free throw. Ron Hunter always excitable on the sidelines over there.
More so than that big NCAA tournament win over Baylor when he fell off his scooter.
R.J. Hunter, his son, with a game-winning shot against Baylor. Ron Hunter had tore his Achilles celebrating the previous win to finish off the Sun Belt tournament. That's why he was in the scooter to begin with. And he fell off of that. They even had a bobblehead in the likeness of Ron Hunter falling off his chair in that Georgia State win. Unveiled that last year as Swanigan makes both free throws.
I always buckle up on my scooter. Safety first.
It's a long way down for you guys. Who's been at the line a lot so far tonight, 8 for 10 at the stripe.
And that's allowed them to hang around. Only 2 visits to the charity stripe for Georgia State thus far.
Simons almost lost it. Carson Edwards tried to force it out.
But Clayton really knows how to play in the clock.
Left some room for Hollowell to attack inside.
Ooh, that's a big one. I think that's Clayton's third.
That's the last thing Georgia State needed, because that's their guy inside on Haas and Swanigan tonight. Willie Clayton working down low. That's 6'8". That's his 3rd foul. The problem for Georgia State, they don't really have anybody behind Clayton. They might go to Chris Clerkley. Jordan Session could get some playing time, but certainly nobody with the guts and the confidence down underneath that Clayton has.
And the experience, and that was a fatigue foul by Clayton because he had no chance of coming up with that offensive rebound. He reached nonetheless, and a very easy call for the official.
So here comes Chris Clerkley, 6'9" freshman. He's only played a few minutes this year. Caleb Swanigan up to 11 points with that made free throw. And back to even here in West Lafayette. Timeout on the floor. Purdue and Georgia State battling here in the first half.
What made that possible? Our State Farm assist of the game on the previous possession. Matthias had a jump shot from that exact spot that forced Georgia State to honor it. They don't close out under control, and Swanigan able to set up shot down low. Matthias found it.
That jump shot by Matthias, the only 3 so far for Purdue. But the hops of Simons as he went up to try to make that layup, and a foul called here as that ball trickled out of bounds. So Georgia State will keep it.
I just think they have possession. I think it just went off a Purdue player. I don't think they.
So it was off of Purdue out of bounds as Justin Seymour is back in. We'll see how Georgia State plays it without Willie Clayton for a little while. He has 3 fouls. Smaller lineup right now for Georgia State. Hollowell bouncing off of Albrecht for the jumper. Hollowell's been impressive, 13 points for the native of Indianapolis.
That's the second time. First it was P.J. Thompson and there Albrecht, where Hollowell understood that he had the size advantage and took advantage of that mismatch.
State Farm halftime report coming up. Rick Pizzo and John Crispin. Edwards with a spin, pass down low to Swanigan, a foul. Will send the sophomore back to the free throw line. First foul on Hollowell. Double bonus as Swanigan will get 2. Mentioned Swanigan on opening night. 23 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists. The first 20-25 game of the Boilers ever. And the third in Division I college basketball in the last 10 years. Ben Simmons and Blake Griffin, the only other 2 to do it. Swanigan makes both of those free throws. Just the one, rather. 12 points for Caleb Swanigan. About a 7.5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Justin Seymour on the dribble. And Hollowell trying to create a screen for Seymour. Simons was cutting to the basket as Seymour tried to send it out. A foul kind of bailed out Georgia State there. That's
exactly right, and that will put Georgia State in the bonus.
Carson Edwards called for that foul. 1-and-1 coming up for Justin Seymour, a senior. Mentioned his circuitous route back home to Atlanta as he ended up in Utah to start his collegiate career, then Murray State. Averaged 7 points per game with Murray State last year. That one drops for Seymour. He'll get one more. Seymour is related to Richard Seymour, the former New England Patriot Super Bowl champion. One more try at the line here for Seymour. Makes them both. Purdue will have a chance. The first half winding down. Purdue made a long 3 to end the first half on Monday against Villanova. They'll have a chance here to set up their offense.
Nice pass.
P.J. Thompson steps back for 3. It goes out. Georgia State can't get a shot off at the buzzer. But the Boilers with that last missed 3 of the first half, really a microcosm. Mark on the mark with Caleb Swanigan and Jeremy Hollowell leading the way for both clubs in the first half. And now the second half begins here in West Lafayette with the Boilermakers trailing. Not quite the same team, really, that we saw Monday against Villanova, despite a loss.
Oh, yeah.
Edwards misses the first shot coming out of the break.
And that's 4 on Clayton.
And with Clayton and Swanigan going down, that's not good for Willie Clayton. A big advantage for Purdue, as that Clayton will be on 4 fouls with an entire half of basketball still to play. Jordan Session is going to check in for Georgia State, but there is a mountain of difference between what Clayton gives you and what Session does.
Not just in terms of size, but also experience.
Purdue ball after the foul. Edwards had the missed 3. Matthias got open, and he misses a 3. A rebound goes long to Thomas. Purdue 1 for 12 from three-point range. Hollowell lost his dribble, and it's P.J. Thompson on the run. Thompson with the layup, and he's rejected and fouled from behind, although Isaiah Dennis thought he had all ball.
And I tell you what, another small play, but an important one for Swanigan, because if this foul's not called on the transition, watch Swanigan, number 50. Wayne, he doesn't give up on the play, so if that layup is missed, he is in an outstanding opportunity to clean up the mess. A small thing, but an important thing, especially in a game like this, where you haven't necessarily been the sharpest. Swanigan showing you right there that little things make a difference.
That foul on Isaiah Dennis. That's his third. And a free throw goes down for P.J. Thompson, the junior. Thomas has the highest ever assist-to-turnover ratio in Purdue history. A little over 3-to-1. As Jeff Thomas gets a rebound after another missed free throw by Purdue. Just hasn't been a sharp ball game for Purdue so far. Jeremy Hollowell along the baseline over Vince Edwards.
He's feeling it. That little inside pivot, the Sigma move, creates space between himself and Edwards. Just rises up confidently and knocks it down.
Hollowell has 15. And 20 against Auburn in Georgia State's last game.
They've got to probe inside.
Edwards tried to do that. He kicks it out. P.J. Thompson. Another miss off the back iron, but Edwards on the offensive rebound. Swanigan, the left hand. Swanigan has nearly half of Purdue's 30 points. He has 14. Georgia State, as that ball is kicked, Georgia State against Auburn in their last game. A very similar one, but they didn't have to deal with Caleb Swanigan in that game.
Scramble situation. Good job by Swanigan of getting the defender on his hip, and then even more impressively when showing the ability to score with the off or left hand.
And Georgia State was close with Auburn at halftime. They ended up losing by 18. They led into the second half of this game. We'll see if Purdue can start to find its rhythm offensively. Seymour, the big scoop around Haas. A foul is called on the loose ball.
And Georgia State right now a little bit quicker to just about every loose ball. And I said it in the first half, and it seems to have carried over here to the second, where you see the blue jerseys of Georgia State attacking the ball and making that extra step to go get it. You're seeing more often than not the white jerseys of Purdue just reaching.
Second foul on Dakota Mathias has Jordan Session at the line. Session makes the first. Session had 7 starts last year for this Georgia State team. He's really their only true post player off the bench. As Simons checks back in. So if Layton's going to be on the bench for most of the second half, it's going to be this guy trying to handle the load inside against Isaac Haas and Caleb Swanigan.
And if you are Purdue, you have to be cognizant of that fact and really take advantage and work that high-low action and pound the ball inside, and then the three-pointers will come. If you probe inside and then the kick out, Georgia State has shown that they don't necessarily close out under control off ball reversal.
Edwards for 3. And Vince Edwards gets Purdue back in the make column. 2 of 14 from three-point range tonight. Maybe that's the shot that gets Purdue to wake up on offense. Hollowell with the shot clock down to 7, got tied up, and it traveled.
Good team defense right there. First with Haas of moving his feet to keep Hollowell in front, and then you saw the dig down to try to force Hollowell to give the ball up. Hollowell saw it coming, shuffled the feet.
That's the 10th turnover from Georgia State. Purdue's had 8 of them as well, so both teams have turned it over quite a bit. Isaac Haas sends it out. Edwards. And a foul called as Edwards tried to make his move. Malik Benlevy will have his 3rd foul. So that's 3 for Benlevy, 3 for Dennis, 4 for Clayton. Not a very deep Georgia State team. Edwards to Haas inside. Knocked away from behind. Swanigan fights for it, but it's secured by Simons.
Nice pass.
Isaiah Dennis. And right into Isaac Haas. And the whistle comes. A foul on Haas, his second.
Good job of running the secondary break by Georgia State up the sideline. Kick it. Yeah, and that the fans were not happy with that. But Isaac Haas did not maintain verticality. You saw his arms come down. If he maintains verticality and keeps them straight up, he's going to be okay. But once you break that plane, it's a foul.
Isaiah Dennis at the line misses the first. Is that just a habitual thing? Because he's 14 inches taller than Isaiah Dennis.
Yeah, he should have just let him run into him because it would have been like a fly hitting a screen.
Dennis makes the second free throw. Senior from McDonough, Georgia, did win a slam dunk contest back in high school, the national slam dunk contest, so he has hops, but a trampoline to get over Isaac Haas.
Nice cut by Swanigan.
Double and triple team once again, surrounding Swanigan. He stays alive, and now finally a jump ball is called.
And Swanigan right now is really the one guy for Purdue who's making the effort plays. Once that ball is knocked loose, he's gotten down on the floor trying to dig it out. You see a couple of blue jerseys, once this scramble ensues, they go down on the floor. Swanigan, the only white jersey, doing the same.
Possession arrow for Georgia State after the jump ball. Caleb Swanigan's been surrounded by double and triple teams all night. So is Isaac Haas. DeMarcus Simons, and a foul on the floor there against Dakota Mathias. That'll be his third.
And Wayne, right now, if you're Georgia State, you have to feel very, very good about your position. Obviously, the score would dictate that, but also you haven't lost any ground with Willie Clayton going to the bench. Your really only consistent inside presence. Georgia State's been able to hold the fort, and Purdue hasn't been able to take advantage.
Willie Clayton's been playing center tonight. He's 6'8". He acquired his fourth foul on the very first possession of the second half. What's realistic for an amount of minutes that we could see Clayton in this second half?
I think that they're probably going to try to, depending on how the score goes, they may try to burn some time all the way past maybe the 12-minute media timeout at the least. And you see a bounce in the step right now at Georgia State, which is lacking in Purdue. That
was the first career three-pointer for the freshman DeMarcus Simons. Swanigan on a pass that was a little bit too far in front of him by Edwards. A foul was called. So Georgia State commits the foul. Isaiah Dennis with his fourth, and it will be Purdue. Will help Purdue in this second half. Willie Clayton, 4 fouls. Isaiah Dennis has 4, and off the bench, Malik Benlevy has 3. So that's something that could prove to be a difference maker in this game.
And Purdue's gone to the foul line 16 times, but only converted 11. That's something that was a problem area for them last time out versus Villanova as well, where they were 12 of 19.
And another missed 3 by Purdue, 2 for 15 on the night. It's Austin Donaldson sending it out. There's Benlevy, and Malik Benlevy gives Georgia State its biggest lead of the night. They're up by 8. And a turnover. Benlevy up top looking for Simons, who was taken away by P.J. Thompson. Now the Boilers with numbers. Edwards tried to go all the way with the left-handed jam. He was shut down near the hoop. A foul called. But give Carson Edwards some credit for being fearless.
Remember in the first half when I told you I saw him try to dunk on Isaac Haas before they went over to Spain? That did not surprise me, and Purdue was very fortunate that on the previous possession, Georgia State did not take advantage of a numbers situation, and the kick ahead from P.J. Thompson allows Carson Edwards the opportunity at the rim.
And Georgia State could have opened up a 10-point lead. It seemed like momentum was about to really go in Georgia State's favor, but Purdue got it right back after that turnover. Now Carson Edwards at the free throw line. Edwards makes them both. He was only 1 for 4 at the line entering tonight's play. He has 6 points now in this one. Freshman from Texas, able to get Purdue a little closer. Hollowell left it short, and it will be Purdue ball.
And if you're Purdue, you have to understand right now that whoever has the defensive assignment on Hollowell, he is going to go right. He has not shown the willingness or the ability to use that left hand. So if you're Purdue, whether it's Smotherman, whoever has that assignment, Wayne, you have to jump that right hand and force Hollowell to go left.
Last foul on Jordan Session is third. He's the backup to Willie Clayton. 16 fouls already against Georgia State in this second half. Carson Edwards. He misses short on the three. Ben Levy flying in for the rebound. Georgia State, you have to give them credit. They have certainly not been intimidated by Purdue, their big man, or the atmosphere here at Mackey Arena.
And they've hit a couple of threes, which has really put a bounce in their step, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
Seen this freshman on freshman battle all night. Simons and Carson Edwards. Simons wins that time. 11 points for DeMarcus Simons.
Just not a whole lot of crisp movement of personnel right now for the Boilermakers.
Catch and shoot. Dakota Mathias misses. Swanigan, though, for the tip-in.
Good job by Mathias of getting in the gap of that defense, not able to convert, but Swanigan again making the effort play on the offensive glass for Purdue.
Swanigan has 16 points. The problem, though, is nobody else around him has helped out. That one knocked away from Austin Donaldson, but he hangs on. Donaldson dribbles into a double team. Jordan Session to the basket. Gets a rebound and puts it back through.
And right now, there's no other way to put it. Georgia State is making all the effort plays on both ends of the floor. Purdue not.
The junior, Jordan Session with a basket. He has 4 points. Smotherman has it knocked away. There goes DeMarcus Simons, the freshman with a 2-point shot off the rim and a 10-point lead for Georgia State. Timeout Purdue as the Panthers are starting to feel it behind one of the scores. Simons 6 for 7 from the field, and Georgia State has the biggest lead of the night, up by 10. 13 points, a new career high for Simons. Spike Albrecht dribbles out of trouble. And Mathias turns it over. That's Austin Donaldson. Georgia State up by 12. Another turnover from Purdue. That is 13 on the night. Jump shot falls for Smotherman. That's what Purdue needs. They need to make some baskets.
And they also need to tighten things up defensively. Georgia State's been able to turn the corner, and Coach Matt Painter trying to find a remedy on the defensive end of the floor, going relatively small with Swanigan, the primary big in there right now.
But an upset be brewing here in West Lafayette. Number 15 Purdue down by 10 at home against Georgia State. The Panthers led by 3 at halftime. They've expanded that lead since the break. Shot clock winding down. Donaldson, the scoop for Austin Donaldson.
Yeah, someone needs to get in that high post. Smotherman was able to do it the last time down the floor, but if you're going to cut in there, you have to time your cut and cut aggressively.
Swanigan was nearly stripped. Ben Levy thought he had it, but a foul called against Georgia State. The Panthers have started to open things up here in West Lafayette. It's Georgia State 51, Purdue 39, and Matt Painter could be seeing his team do something they have never done since he has been a head coach. Purdue has not lost back-to-back non-conference home games since the 2004-2005 season, and they were beaten by Memphis and Oklahoma in consecutive games. Villanova got them the other night. A great game. Purdue played the defending national champion very tough, but tonight it has been a completely different story. The Boilermakers have been outplayed by a team picked to finish third in the Sun Belt.
Witnessed by the fact Georgia State 26 to 16 points in the paint advantage, also have converted 12 Purdue turnovers into 11 points.
Malik Benlevy for 3. It's way off. Albrecht trying to handle the rebound. Almost took it away from Smotherman. Now he gives it to him. Smotherman threw it to P.J. Thompson found it. Now Smotherman with the jump shot. Missed it short. Smotherman's all over the place. A wild pass that was nearly stolen, then the missed jumper. Purdue has had all kinds of problems shooting tonight. 12 for 38 from the field. And a foul is called as
they got Smotherman just running through the screen.
Donaldson hit the deck there. How tough is it for Georgia State to finish something like that?
Yeah, that's just a common foul. And we just got the signal from Gene Steratore that that was indeed the case, that this is still a common foul, nothing flagrant.
Gene Steratore is off to L.A. after this game. He's refereeing the Dolphins and Rams on Sunday.
Then an illegal screen will come the other way.
So Purdue will get the ball, and that's it for Session. He's out of here. Foul number 5 for Jordan Session. He's a goner. Willie Clayton's going to come back in, but he also has 5 fouls. Really, the third option at center for Georgia State is Chris Clerkley, a true freshman who's only played about 8 minutes so far in the first 3 games. They'll be in dire straits if Clayton fouls out. Albrecht, that's a 3. And it's off again. Haas had it hit off of him, and a foul will be called here. It's against Clayton. Willie Clayton just came back in with 4 fouls. He's gone. Clayton took about 7 seconds to receive that 5th foul. Ron Hunter can't believe it.
I think they might have signaled. Oh, no, they gave it to him. Yeah, he's down low. And watch what he's done. That's a point of emphasis. Great job by the official. What you saw with Clayton's inside arm, he tried the swim move. He came up underneath, and the officials caught him.
Willie Clayton had 3 fouls in the first half. Played about 30 seconds in the second half, and he's gone. But you mentioned that hook move, and if that's something that is a point of emphasis, how does Willie Clayton not know that?
Well, I think he thought, look, this guy's so big, maybe they'll let me get away with it. But that was in front of at least 4 clear sets of eyes.
Isaac Haas missed the free throw. Caleb Swanigan pushed to try to get the rebound. Willie Clayton is out of here.
Now watch number 21 underneath. The free. He's coming up underneath with that little bit of a swim move to try to gain an advantage and pull Haas down toward the floor, and the officials caught it.
Now when you have 4 fouls like he did there with so much time left in this game, do you have to back off a little bit to make sure you don't get that 5th one?
Well, if you're going to get your 5th one, you want to make sure that you may be prohibiting a basket or something of that nature, especially when you just got into the ballgame.
Hollowell almost lost his dribble. DeMarcus Simons has had a great night.
And they're going small. They're putting P.J. Thompson on Hollowell. Then they switch back. Good job.
Isaiah Williams, shot clock winding down. The floater missed. A charge is called. It was Smotherman who locked inside and was run over by Isaiah Williams.
And a smart play by Smotherman. There have been times when a player has rotated over, but he hasn't maintained verticality. You eliminate that when you keep your arms down. There's a reason he did that. He wanted to protect some valuable territory.
Full court press from Georgia State. We haven't seen a lot of that tonight. Purdue gets through it.
You got to get the ball in that high post.
Vincent Edwards has been quiet tonight. So is Isaac Haas. He lost it. Swanigan has kept Purdue going. And Swanigan able to keep the ball. And that's Isaiah Dennis's 5th foul. He has fouled out. Three Panthers have fouled out of this game. There's 9.5 minutes left. Swanigan will have a couple of free throws coming up. Ron Hunter has seen 2 starters, and one of those starters' backups get eliminated from this game because of foul trouble. Swanigan's had a good night. He has 18. And Purdue given a fighting chance tonight because of this. Foul trouble for Georgia State.
And on that dead ball, again, Coach Matt Painter going a little smaller. Getting toss out of the ball game, and a line violation gives new life right now to Purdue from the foul line.
It's called against Austin Donaldson. Ron Hunter's in disbelief. Georgia State has given Purdue quite a punch here in West Lafayette. Still a lot of time if the Boilermakers can just tighten up. Missed free throws. Simons fights for the rebound.
Boy, you get a gift of another free opportunity. You have to take advantage, because right now, if you're Georgia State,
Simons on the drive, but he couldn't finish.
I understand, but right now, with your foul trouble, if you're Georgia State, you want to work the shot clock and work the game clock. That's your friend right now.
Matthias tried to force it down low, was taken away by Austin Donaldson.
That's just a poor passing decision. There's no way that pass is going to get through.
13th turnover from Purdue tonight. They've had at least that many in every game they've played so far.
And a lot unforced, Wayne. That was an unforced one. I mean, he just threw it right into the hands. Easy deflection for Georgia State.
Long three, Hollowell, too strong. Matthias boxes out for the rebound. Purdue averaged 92 points in their first two games. They have been checked tonight. Edwards.
Short.
Way off, not even close. Hollowell catching it after it was airball.
And again, they didn't probe inside.
Thomas for three. A big three from Jeff Thomas, his 5th of this year, his first tonight. And the sharpshooter for Georgia State gives them their biggest lead yet, up by 13.
Just really sluggish movement of the personnel right now for Purdue. Not cutting crisply, but a good ball reversal. Nice.
Albrecht draws contact, and he almost got it to drop. Spike Albrecht will be at the free throw line when we come back. The Boilers need buckets.
Last time out versus Villanova, and then tonight against Georgia State, but leaving points on the foul line as well. 63% versus Villanova tonight, 15 of 23 for 65%. They've been able to get to the line. They just haven't been able to convert. And I think the other stat that really hops out at you, Wayne, is this is a team in Georgia State that was undersized, especially compared to Purdue. And Georgia State, a 26 to 16 points in the paint advantage thus far.
Well, if anybody on Purdue is automatic at the free throw line, it's Spike Albrecht. Graduate transfer from Michigan, makes all 3 of those free throws. And Albrecht pulls the Boilermakers back within 10. This is a crowd that hasn't had much to cheer for tonight. Albrecht with the pickpocket attempt, couldn't get it. And it stays with Georgia State. Shot clock down to 5. Donaldson reverses course. The putback by Malik Benlevy.
The 9th offensive rebound for Georgia State tonight.
Knocked out of bounds. It was Benlevy who knocked it out. Malik Benlevy coming on the weak side after the miss.
And that shows you what dribble penetration can do. It forces Purdue into a scramble situation. No one puts a body, and the conversion.
Georgia State has had an answer every time tonight. They've also out-rebounded Purdue when it comes to offensive boards. Who would have thought that would have happened tonight?
They've made the effort plays. That's just the only way to put it, Wayne.
Matthias. Another three for Dakota Matthias. His 2nd of the night. It's only the 3rd all night long for the Boilers.
And that gets the fans excited, but this is the end of the floor where Purdue has to tighten things up.
Matthias has had 7 straight games with a made 3. Longest streak on the Boilers. Albrecht the harp defense on Hollowell. An offensive foul.
We saw Smotherman do that a few possessions ago here. It's Edwards who has really struggled to get into any kind of flow. rotating over. You're going to see him come right there, stop, arms up, take the punch, come the other way.
That was on Malik Benlevy. He has 4 fouls. Already 3 Georgia State Panthers have fouled out of this game, including both of their centers. Hollowell now guarding Swanigan.
Nice pass.
On the mismatch against Austin Donaldson. Donaldson is a foot shorter than Isaac Haas. And Georgia State calls a timeout. A wild difference in foul trouble tonight. Willie Clayton, Jordan Session, Isaiah Dennis already gone. Malik Benlevy has 4. Ron Hunter's team trying to pull off the upset on the road. Georgia State has only 1 win in its history against a Big Ten school. Is against Wisconsin in the 2001 NCAA tournament.
And see what Smotherman did? He forced Hollowell to his left.
Hollowell's had a great night. The transfer from Indiana. The shot clock winding down around Albrecht. He lost it. Albrecht up top to Basil Smotherman. The Boilers within 5.
Wayne, we talked about the importance of forcing Hollowell to his left. You see why. He's not nearly as comfortable going to his left. Good rotation, the kick ahead. The left giveth, and the left taketh away.
A foul on the back end of that play against DeMarcus Simons. And at the line, Basil Smotherman to try to make it a 3-point play. That's a 4-point game in West Lafayette. That's DeMarcus Simons. He's fouled from behind. Basil Smotherman thought he had a stop. But instead, Simons will go to the line to try to make it an end to this 8-0 run for Purdue.
Nice job by Simons of going to his left, but Smotherman looks like he might have come across with the right arm right there, but a pretty good recovery by Smotherman.
A 4th foul against Smotherman. DeMarcus Simons misses his first free throw attempt of the night. He's only 3 for 6 so far in this young season, as Smotherman has a seat with 4 fouls.
And Smotherman really gave Purdue not just a tangible lift with that dunk, but also with his defensive intensity.
And DeMarcus Simons, the freshman, may be feeling the atmosphere here at Mackey. Missed both free throws.
Good job by Swanigan getting in there.
A foul was called as Haas tried to reach for that pass. It's on Hollowell. Only the 2nd foul for Hollowell.
Wayne, Swanigan's been pretty good tonight. Not just in what he's done in rebounding the ball, but making himself available, getting into that high post. That's the soft spot in that 2-3 zone. They stretched out Georgia State a little bit in that particular possession, and then able to find Haas.
Only 7 points for Haas tonight. He had 44 in 45 minutes over the first 2 games. He has been held down by a Georgia State team that has played without really a center for this entire second half. And Isaac Haas makes both free throws. They'll come out as B.J. Thompson returns. A 10-0 run for Purdue as Mackey Arena rocking.
And Purdue just switching all those dribble handoffs up top.
The senior Jeremy Hollowell underneath, can't finish. Gets it right back though in a fresh shot clock. And Hollowell with that veteran presence slows it down for Georgia State.
And again, rather than going and corralling the ball with 2 hands, Edwards reached with 1. It forces them to extend this defensive sequence.
Traveling cold against DeMarcus Simons. A Georgia State turnover. We've seen plenty of those tonight. Austin Donaldson will check in. We've seen the moment swallow up Simons here in the last couple of minutes.
Well, he was playing with a sense of braggadocio a little bit earlier on, letting everyone know when he knocked down the three. He has been mute since.
Purdue has scored the last 10 points. Foul away from the ball. More free throws coming up. Chris Clerkley called for that foul. A photo finish in West Lafayette. The Boilers trying to hold off the...
Purdue not out of the woods yet. They have to take better care of the basketball down the stretch and continue to pound it inside. Georgia State has had to go deep into the well right now.
We've seen Caleb Swanigan come up big for Purdue tonight. 18 points. Georgia State has led for 30 minutes and 16 seconds in this game. Purdue for under 3 minutes. And now, Isaac Haas, after those two free throws, has tied things up. A 12-0 run for Purdue. And back to even here at Mackey Arena.
23 of 31 from the charity stripe thus far for Purdue. They've also done a better job of taking Hollowell out of the ball game. 13 points in the first, only 2 here in the second.
Marcus Simons has picked up some of that slack, but he's turned it over a couple of times. Not even on the floor right now for Georgia State. Donaldson sent it out. Thomas rattled out. Matthias fights for the rebound. It stays for Jeff Thomas, knocked away from him. It's out of bounds. It landed on a Panther, and it's Purdue ball. Austin Donaldson was laying on the ground. The ball fell on him.
Scramble situation. Matthias doesn't put a body on him. Off the head. They kind of treated that, I know it's a little early for Christmas references, but they treated that like the holiday fruitcake. No one wanted it. Keep passing it back and forth.
P.J. Thompson thought about the three. Instead goes down low to Haas.
Nice pass.
Swanigan on the cut. He's fouled. Another Georgia State foul. They've had so many tonight.
Really smart job by Thompson to draw in the attention. You saw the shot fake. It brings the defender out. That created the initial passing angle to Haas, who didn't panic, turns, and a good dive by Swanigan.
Swanigan with a chance to put Purdue on top for the first time in a long time. The first time in the second half that the Boilermakers have had the lead. It was late in the first half when they were last on top, 23-22. Georgia State has committed 28 fouls in this game. Second one misses. Hollowell the rebound for Georgia State. The upset-minded and upset-capable Panthers have led for most of this game.
Smotherman back in, drawing the defensive assignment on Hollowell here down the stretch with those 4 fouls.
Donaldson attacks the baseline, spins around the defense, but can't get it to drop. Albrecht the rebound for Purdue. And a timeout called by the Boilermakers. Purdue as the Boilermakers will inbound after a timeout. What do you want to see from Purdue here?
Continuing to work the high post and pound the ball down inside.
It's worked for Swanigan. Isaac Haas has had several trips to the free throw line tonight. Thompson looking his way.
But they've got to move the ball and move personnel.
Shot clock at 5. P.J. Thompson missed the 3. We've seen that all night from Purdue, but Swanigan a key offensive rebound. Now Haas underneath, lost control. Hollowell picks it up for Georgia State, and he traveled.
But how about the play by Albrecht to keep it alive off the initial miss? And not an awful pass, but you have to know who's receiving it. Because Haas's momentum was taking him away from the pass, made it more difficult. You can't fault, though, Swanigan looking for him, but you have to remember who's catching the ball and throw it more toward Haas's body.
Big possession here inside of 2 minutes. Mathias takes the three. And Dakota Mathias gives Purdue its largest lead of the night. Georgia State calls a timeout. Purdue has scored the last 16 points.
And that was provided by Basil Smotherman. He drew a charge. He was able to take a deflection and go down for a three-point play and a dunk, and he's done a really good job of forcing Hollowell left.
They call Smotherman the best athlete on this Purdue team. He has shown that tonight. Yep. Hollowell with the push-off, an offensive foul.
In which direction was he forced, Wayne? He's not comfortable going to his left. Every basket that he has made has come going to his right hand, his strong hand. So Purdue has made the adjustment and forced him left. Here, it's Albrecht. And he's not comfortable. Easy call for the official to make. That inside arm, the right arm, clears out Albrecht. Albrecht sells it. Come the other way.
We've talked about the floor smarts of Spike Albrecht forcing him in that direction. Full court press comes from Georgia State.
They're close. Boy, they just barely beat it.
Swanigan looking for Haas. He was all wrapped up, and Haas tackled. Maybe inadvertently, but Jeremy Hollowell got so tangled up that he took on.
And they might have blown that play dead on the initial hook.
Awesome missed free throw. That was the fourth foul on Hollowell. We've talked about the Georgia State foul trouble. They've committed 30 fouls as a team tonight. 3 players have fouled out, and 2 others, including Hollowell, their leading scorer tonight, has 4. Haas makes 1, and Purdue's up by 5. Smotherman's back in. He has 4 fouls.
What you're seeing is a really interesting twist by Coach Matt Painter. A lot of times you'll see offense for defense substitutions. Here you saw a defense for offense. Smotherman coming in to draw the assignment on Hollowell.
And there it is. Hollowell splitting the defense and tripped up Caleb Swanigan and Smotherman there on defense. And that foul will be on
stripe a season ago.
19 for 20 this season. And he missed. Swanigan the rebound. A rare miss at the free throw line for Hollowell as the Purdue run continues.
Georgia State's let a lot of time run off. Now you just want to play it cleanly. You don't want to give a foul here.
P.J. Thompson with the burial from 3. Simons forces it up and misses. Swanigan the rebound. He's fouled. A 20-0 scoring run for Purdue.
Good skip pass over the top. Leads it right into the shooting pocket for P.J. Thompson. Nice pass by Albrecht. Not the fanciest play, but a really savvy and important play because he put enough air under it to allow Thompson to slide to his left, catch it in rhythm, and then go up.
Purdue has scored the last 20 points. It has been close to 7 minutes since Georgia State has scored. All the fouls in the second half, 22 of them from the Panthers. As Swanigan misses the first free throw. Time to take a look at our Duluth Trading hardest working player. You've pointed at him all night for his hard work on the floor. Caleb Swanigan has been gritty tonight.
And especially in the first half, he was really the only Purdue player, Wayne, that was playing with a sense of urgency, getting on the floor after some loose ball. Smotherman joined him in that regard in the second stanza, but Swanigan kept him close.
Seymour too strong off the window. Spike Albrecht secures for Purdue. Time winding down here in West Lafayette, and Ron Hunter tells his team to back off. Didn't come easy for Purdue tonight. They were trailing by 12 with just over 7 minutes to play. They scored the last 20 points to come back and beat Georgia State 64-56. The Boilers hold off a second straight non-conference loss at home. They were beaten earlier in the week by Villanova, but they scored.